Hey everyone, how you doing? I hope everything has gone live or not. It's a bit difficult sometimes to be sure when you go live. We always have this issue. Anyway, I've not been live for a while, mainly because I've been super busy. You may or may not know the Elementor website course. We did phase 2, where I enhanced it to include WooCommerce. And I actually enjoyed doing that. Not because I like WooCommerce. No one likes doing an e-commerce website because there's so many variables and things you got to work out, and products and variations and settings and tax and shipping and all of that. But what was quite interesting was I developed quite a lot of new solutions. So I really wanted the course to really streamline and reduce the amount of things that you would be using, like third-party plugins and add-ons like filters. Normally, I would recommend you use Grid Builder WP, whether you were, for whatever WooCommerce website. In fact, I think I've been recommending Grid Builder WP for nearly 3 years now. And it is really robust, really good. But you're paying like $49, $50 for a license. It's an annual license, by the way, but you're paying for this license to use a filter system. And what I found really quite interesting was, and I think, can someone just leave a comment to let me know that I am definitely live? Because I always get a bit suspicious that I'm not actually live. And it's really annoying when I'm told, no, we're live. Okay, cool, we're live. So I've always felt that you spend money on a filter system and you're not doing anything amazingly fantastic. You're just filtering your categories or your custom fields. And lots of page builders will have their own native taxonomy filter widget. Is anyone getting a buffering issue? If anyone is watching. If we're getting a buffering issue, I'll be so... Yeah, it says the current resolution is not supported. I think I'm getting a buffering issue. And I'm going to be really flipping annoyed if that happens. We shouldn't do, though, because I lowered my rate down. Anyway, I'm going to carry on anyway, as we are. In fact, no comments have come through. Can someone just leave a comment? Yeah, hey, Tom. Tom, is the quality okay? Because I feel like there's a buffering issue, but I might be wrong about that. My understanding is that everything is okay, but I may be wrong in that there may be a bit of a buffering issue. If there is, I'm going to nip under my desk and plug in the Ethernet cable into my Mac Mini. But if anyone can just let me know before I continue, and that's probably my fault because I haven't done a live chat in a while. In fact, I am just going to plug in the buffer cable, not the buffer cable, the Ethernet cable. So can you just give me like 1 minute? I'm going to go under the desk just to plug in my Ethernet cable. All right, just give me 1 minute. I'm going to disappear under the desk right now, like right now. I'm still here, by the way. I'm just trying to get this cable, this room, and then comes through to here. So let me just give me a moment, because I've got to now just plug this into my, I've just got to plug this into my Mac. Whoa! Right. That should have done it. Okay. Talk about not being prepared. Oh man, lesson learned. Totally messed up there, didn't I? Right, we should be okay now. I'm going to do a quick speed test, just check the Ethernet cable is feeding through, and yeah, we're good to go. Right, we should not get that issue now. Okay, cool. So how's everyone doing? So like I said, the reason why I've not been doing live chats for a while. Thank you, Tom. big mistake, right? I rearranged my desk during the Christmas break because my son is now over there. So I used to sit on that side of the room and I've come to here. So I had to completely redo. These are new panels. This is a new panel as well. I had to get a new light behind me. I'll show you the light. And that is just to add a bit of warm lighting behind me. Otherwise, I sink into the background because it's quite dark. Bit of light over there, bit of light up there, and one down here. So I was, having to set all my equipment and tech up. And obviously, the one big thing I've overlooked, my Ethernet cable. So yeah, been busy with the WooCommerce Phase 2, and obviously very soon, Q2 2026, we may have the final version of Elementor version 4, global classes, global components, atomic components, all of that coming out. And obviously when they are finally out, I will have to do, let's build another site using the new knowledge and technology that Elementor release. I don't think it's going to be a huge overhaul over what we have, because it's not like we're completely overhauling a lot of the widgets that we already have, and you don't even have to learn it. Like version 3 and version 4, or the way you do things in the current version, that will still exist. So there is no major need to move completely to version 4. Because don't forget, when you look at all of the widgets that Elementor has, 90% of them have not been converted to version 4, and there's no plan to convert all of them to version 4. It's only like the core ones, like your images, your videos, your icons, your container, your heading. The paragraph widget, I really don't like. So it'll be interesting to see if they refine that when we get to the final version, or the beta version, which is now out. Now, I did announce a couple of days ago that I have noticed though, we're not getting a lot of comments, and which worries me a little bit, in that you should be allowed to comment regardless of whether you're a member or not. Hi, hello La Petite. That tells me that you don't have to be a member to comment. Cool, that means everything's fine. So I did announce that I am going to jump back into doing bricks builder videos again. It's been, I would say, over 2 years now where I haven't done a bricks builder dedicated video or a course or anything. And I haven't really looked at other page builders either. And a lot of that was because I wanted to dedicate a lot of time to Elementor. However, I've now decided that I want to step back into doing videos for bricks and other areas. And I'll tell you why. Because there's not a lot of good videos out there. There's not a lot of full-blown, like, full website build tutorials or courses. There's bits here and there. There's a lot of videos that tend to focus on third-party add-ons or plugins. And at the end of the day, when it comes to Web Squadron and the way I like to work, I try to empower you to use what you got, rather than having to always go out and use third-party stuff. Or code snippets. You could use code snippets to help yourself out as well. So it's going to be interesting to see, like, how that all pans out, really. I haven't got a date set on when I'm going to be doing that. Should be soon, because I just have to find a good gap. It's been quite busy, actually, surprisingly. So I got the course out, and then, there's been 3 different website projects, working on the 3rd one now. They just come in like buses, almost. And I don't mind doing website work, but it also messes up my timeline. So I assume I have no website work for the next 6 months. Because I don't like to sit there thinking, I've got to, I've got to find a client. I like to think that I can survive and find work for myself, or develop things, or be creative in what I'm doing without relying on client revenue, because it's not always guaranteed, right? Especially the scale of it, you know, basic website versus a massive e-commerce website, you know, different scales of revenue you're going to get. So my cat always makes these whiny noises. Coco, if you want to go to the toilet, go to the toilet. All right. What's up? I fed you. Anyway, that's the cat. So Bricks Builder, those videos will be coming soon. I just need to finish off a website that's practically nearly done. Just need to tweak a few things. And then I need to do a bit of prep work for some videos I want to record next week. But then I want to start planning for the Bricks video. It won't be like the Elementor course. I mean, the Elementor course is huge, right? It's like, what is it now, the Elementor course? I think it's 15 hours. No, it's over 16. It's over 16 hours worth of content. 166 videos, I think. Huge amount of content. The Bricks Builder won't be the same. What it will be is just like, I want to try and do like a 1 to 2 hour video, start to finish, right? And then we'll see where we go from there. Because whenever I did a Bricks Builder video, I used to get a lot of criticism from a lot of Bricks Builder people. Not the developers, but people who use Bricks Builder. They didn't like the way I maybe approached the way I build. Maybe they felt that I build with the Elementor mindset, which I find really, really peculiar. Like, how can you have an Elementor mindset? You set your global stuff up, you sort out your classes, you know, hover states and all of that. You then do your container, your header, your hero banner, your headlines, your call to action. How can you have an Elementor mindset in how you build? Can anyone explain that to me? Because I never fully understood that. But I used to get a lot of criticism, and it hurts when you've put in time and effort and people jump on you. It makes you go, right, I'm not going to do it. But I have noticed that in terms of Bricks Builder, there's a lack of video content out there, or a lot of the videos that do come out, they sometimes touch on the very basics. And I'm all about showing you how to be innovative, methodical, and logical in what you build, and how you can build at scale and efficiently as well. So that's what I want to do. Lepetiki says, I never use Bricks or other popular builders, only work with Elementor. Could you mention what are the biggest differences between them? So Elementor is, in my opinion, quite easy to jump on and start using, I think. Bricks Builder is a little bit more involved because, for instance, the WordPress menu, you just drop it in and you have like the mobile menu built in. You want to do that with Bricks, you got to think a little bit because now you got to build everything out, right? So you now have to decide on where did the labels go? Where did the menu items go? And that's nothing to be massively scared of. But for some people, it's like, I don't want to have to do that. A good way to explain it is think of Microsoft Excel, right? When you get Excel, you've got all your cells, right? You got your menu, you got all your cells, right? And you click into it and you know where your numbers go. Bricks would be a bit like blank page, and now you have to add in the columns and the rows. And you have to define. You could argue you do that with Elementor as well. You define stuff, but there's a bit more involvement. And the whole class system really had to make you think outside the box a little bit. Now, Elementor are doing the whole global class component and all that shit as well. So is it really going to be that difficult? And I do think that once we get version 4 of Elementor out and people get more on board with the whole classes and how you can set up a class and you could call it large, and then no matter any widget you pick, well, I say any widget, it depends on how you set it up. So your large class might be width, Well, you could apply that to any widget now, or it might be for text. So let's say you have large width as your class name. You just drop that onto any widget and it will apply the width. Or maybe you go for large size. And you could now apply that to text, even an image. My cat is really whining. Let me just check he's all right. What is it? My cat is really... Can you give me, guys, just a minute? I just got to check my cat. I'm back. Cat trouble, right? Whenever my cat meows like that, like really whines, I always have to double check. But he does it and then he's fine. Or he does it and he does a really stinky, mega smelly shit in the cat litter tray. You didn't need to know that, but I've told you anyway. So for those of you that have been waiting for me to do Bricks Builder videos, they're coming again soon. Am I still going to be doing Elementor videos? Hey, Pancho. Yeah, absolutely. Of course. A core fabric of the YouTube channel has been Elementor videos. So I will be continuing to do Elementor videos. But I'm going to be mixing it up with a bit of bricks as well. Am I going to do breakdance? Probably not. Am I going to do etch? Probably not. Am I going to do oxygen or divvy or probably not? So I'm going to bounce between Elementor and bricks videos. And I am planning to do a few more videos because I've upscaled my camera recording equipment. So I'm hoping to do more talking videos. And I know a lot of people don't like the talking videos because they just want to learn how to do things. And I think they need to understand that I don't care what you think. I don't care what people say they want or don't want. It's my channel. So I'll do what the fuck I want to do at the end of the day. There was a really good, hey Doc Folklore, there was a really good live chat yesterday with Paul from WP Tuts and Jeffrey from Lightbox about AI and all of that. And I was listening in the background and I chatted a bit as well. And they made some really, really good points about, you know, how AI is already affecting the amount of clients you're likely to get in terms of web work. But one of the things that really does stand out for me is that you can have all of the AI engines in the world, right? Where you might say, my budget is $2,000 and I want to go on a family holiday and it needs to have these 10 things. These are optional and I don't want the air flight to be more than 4 hours from where I live and I'd prefer it to be flying from this airport, blah, 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 right? And AI is going to go away and come up with some answers. You refine your prompt, you get more answers, right? At the end of the day, you're still going to have to go somewhere to book it. And we're not there yet with you being able to book through AI. I'm not sure, though, how comfortable I would ever be booking something through AI. And that's because even when ChatGPT says to me, this is what you need to buy, right? You want an amazing keyboard, you have to buy this keyboard, right? I've researched all the pros and cons, everything. This is perfect for you. Even when it says that, I will still click the link, go and study the product, and I will look at all the details, and I will look at, well, what does it do? What do the reviews say? You know, is there anything else that might be better or whatever? And then I make that decision, right? Because we're going to have some people who they're walking down the street and then someone says, are you hungry? Right? There's 20 shops here, but you must buy from that shop because it's the best sandwich in the world. And what some people will do is, I don't know what my cat's doing. It's doing something weird behind the mirror. Oh, no, he's all right. What some people will do is they will go and buy the sandwich. They'll go and buy it without even thinking. And in actual fact, it was not the best sandwich in the world. and then they will regret that they did that, right? Or what will happen is, what you could have done is researched it yourself. You could have, after you've heard them say, right, that's the best sandwich in the world, you go and do a bit of research and then you decide for yourself. And that's where I feel like the websites are still going to fit in. So when it comes to knowledge sharing, I think those websites are going to start to die a bit, because I'll just get more I want to know from AI. But if you want to buy something, you're going to have somewhere to go. So we're going to probably see a rise in product purchasing websites, right? Whether you're buying a plane ticket, food, a service, or something. They will survive, I think. But that's just what I think. Abdul Manazam says, which page do you prefer in next upcoming Elementor? I don't think there is a right or wrong answer for this, because I think for a lot of clients and even a lot of businesses where they don't have the budget to hire a team to look after their website, Elementor, for me, is still really, really good. If you've got the skill set, or you're willing to pay for a maintenance plan or hire someone to look after your website, then Bricks Builder could be a better choice. But a lot of it, I think questions like that, for me, it's a bit like someone saying, in upcoming years, which drink do you think people will drink more? Coca-Cola or Pepsi Max? It's subjective. And the same with page builders, the same with cars, the same with energy, the same with everything. It's all subjective. There is no right or wrong answer. Hey, no probs, Nick. And by the way, Nick, you'll be glad to hear that I will be jumping back into doing Bricks Builder videos. So I'm going to be, getting a little bit more involved in doing that, because I think the time is right now to start getting back into that. Emre, how many times do you do live chats a month? Is it every Thursday? So I'm thinking of going back to 2 to 3 times a week, Emre. I might do it more. I'm trying to carve out the right amount of time. What I find is that I have a lot more stuff I want to get done each day. So for instance, I like to work solid until midday. Then I like to jump on to my power rack cable machine over there and do a bit of a workout. But then I've just got so much I've got to juggle, which ain't your problem, but there's a lot to juggle. But if I can do 2 to 3 times, I'll try. Hey, Dennis, how you doing, mate? Sometimes good. I must say, with where Elementor is going, the Bricks Builder lifetime is... Do you know something? Okay, right. Okay, look. I'm going to put my hands up now, okay? And I'm not having a dig, all right? I'm not having a rant, and I'm not complaining, okay? When I heard about Elementor 1 and what it was offering... Because I have supported Elementor so much, I decided to do a video. I did not know the prices, okay? I did not know the prices. I did it in good faith. When I then released the video and I was now a lot more clearer on the prices, it left a bad taste in my mouth. And I know a lot of people were disappointed in me in that they felt I was promoting something that is going to cost quite a bit. Now, I don't think Elementor are completely wrong. Hey, Joshua, I don't think Elementor are wrong in what they're doing. I'm glad they've simplified it. The cats have just done something really silly, I think. Anyway, they've simplified it, which is really, really good. The problem is that the pricing for me has created they didn't need to do that. Look, let me just make it blunt, okay? They could have easily have just said, for an extra, I don't know, $10 a month, something really, really, really simple. They could have done that. Expecting people, because look, you have to remember, okay? I don't know. I don't think I'm explaining myself very well. So I'll try again. Why do you use Elementor? Tell me in the comments. Don't tell me some bullshit story or don't say, well, I don't. No. Those of you that use Elementor, why do you use it? What is the main purpose you bought an Elementor license? Why did you buy an Elementor license? I don't care if you got 1,000 licenses or 30 licenses or 1 license. Why did you buy the Elementor Pro license? What was the main reason you needed it for? Because the customer wants it, Dennis says. Yeah, you get away with that in a little bit. The Pet key, ease of use, a lot of information online on how to use it. That's not the answer I'm looking for. So I want you to think again, right? Think really hard about this, right? Okay, forget what the customer wants. Forget how easy it was. Why did you get the Elementor Pro license? In fact, why do you use Elementor? In fact, why do you use WordPress? What is the number one thing? You, me, we're all doing it. What is the reason? What is the reason? What is the reason? I'll tell you, because I don't think anyone's going to get it. You got it to build websites. You're using WordPress to build a website. You're using Elementor to build a website. You're using Bricks to build a website. You probably got Etch to build a website. You're probably using Wix or Squarespace or Dreamweaver or Canva to build a website, right? You're building a website. So you got the licenses to build websites. Did you get the license to do image optimization? Did you get it for email deliverability? Did you get it for AI integration? Did you get it for... Oh, my mind's gone blank now on what else there is. Anyway, there's other shit, right? No, you didn't. Now, we like image optimization. But for the love of God, shouldn't that shit be built in anyway? Huh? Hear me out on this, okay? I think I will have a bit of a rant. But hear me out on this, okay? Hear me out on this, right? There's a lot of stuff, like Dennis said, we can do ourselves. We can sort out the email deliverability, SMTP, blah, 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 blah. Go and do the RX codes and text codes and all that shit. Image optimization. You can do it offline, online, do it however you want, right? There are some things that, in my fucking opinion, this is where I get really annoyed with all the page builders, with WordPress, with every fucking developer out there that develops a brand new shiny toy. Why did I develop the filter builder with a code snippet? Do you know why I did it? Because no one was doing the basic main thing that so many people want. We just want a filter system. And why do we have to pay for it? Look, let me get to the point, okay? And I am going to go nuclear, right? I have said to people, I will be nuclear now in being really honest about what I think and feel, all right? I'm not going to hold back anymore. I do hold back. Some people say, no, you don't. I do hold back. So let me be frank here, right? WordPress, without me lifting a finger, should already be ensuring or somehow feed into it image optimization. Why the fuck do any of us have to use a snippet or a plugin or a third-party system to do image optimization? Why is WordPress, all of these versions, 6.7, 6.8, 6.9, guess what? We just gave you border radius. We're going to allow you to have bullets. Fuck off. Focus on what WordPress should have out the box. WordPress should handle email fucking deliverability. WordPress should handle image optimization. AI, if I want it, I'll have it. But if I don't want it, I don't need it. Now let me go to the other solution. Woo fucking commerce. Woo commerce, right? Subscriptions should be built in. I don't care what anyone says, right? It should be built in automatically. A filter system, a proper filter system should be built in. They spent a load of time 2 years ago going, we're going to redesign the way the product's layout looks, even though no one's really using it. And we're going to do da 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 da. Filter system automatically built in. Have you seen I've got a code. I don't know if I released it or it's coming out. I think I've released it or I haven't. I don't know. The tags. Did you know the product tags? You know when you go to product tags, right? You have to type it in and you have to wait for it to say this one. It should be a checkbox. I created a code snippet to turn it into a checkbox, just like what you get with categories. Why have WooCommerce not done that? I'll tell you why. Because they're all fucking lazy. We're going to come up with a brand new feature and toy that's going to make you go, wow. But the basic shit, no, we won't do that. Oh, no, we won't do that. Do the basic stuff. And this is where Elementor, I think, with Elementor 1, have got it badly fucking wrong. No one's asking for these third-party shits. We just want a good page builder to build websites. Mic drop. Now, if you don't agree with me, say you don't agree. If you do agree, do let me know, because then I'll feel good. If you had your speaker system on and you had loads of people listening, I apologize. Dennis, you're totally right. It's a revenue model. But do you know what I have found, right? Shall I tell you what I have found? Hold on, let me just have a drink. Do you know what I have found? Sorry, let me just quick check the comments. Right, look. Here's the reason why I don't completely agree with the revenue model, right? If you give me what we should be getting, then I don't mind paying for the extras. Does that make sense? So let's say I want a beef pizza. I want spicy beef, spicy jalapenos. They're spicy anyway, but jalapenos, spicy beef pizza, right? And then you say, do you want extra beef? Do I want extra beef? I'll pay for it. Do you want extra jalapenos? I'll pay for it. And this is where WordPress, WooCommerce, Element, even Bricks. I mean, I'm sorry, yeah, do Bricks even have a proper filter system yet? They came out with a filter, but it was never a proper one, was it? Right? And I just feel like, no, you're right, Den. You are right, Dennis. But I would say, compared to where WordPress was when it first came out, it should not. But even if it was just for blogs, Dennis, it will not take any rocket science for WooCommerce, for WordPress, for Element. How many of you here, and be honest, right? How many of you here have looked at my filter builder video I put out? How many of you have seen it? How many of you have seen some of the code snippets I've put out? Like the PDF viewer? How many of you have seen like the code snippet I did for page auditing? How many of you have seen like even code snippets? The snippet switchboard, where as soon as you go into WordPress, right, you've got all of your filters there. How many of you have seen those? Why are people, developers, not taking the hard work that I and others have created? Study the code. Can it be improved? And use it. Build it in. Build it into your fucking system. Right? I have now done all the work to... I'm just checking my cat's okay. I've done all the work to create this filter builder for free. They can take that and refine... the inverted corner border radius tool I created, the one that now lets you invert the corners, build it in. The font clamp calculator, WordPress, build it in. The color contrast checker, WordPress, build it in. It's like, I just cannot fathom out why they don't just do this. The AEO AI visibility booster I created that allows you to create your LLMs and your FAQ schema. The code is there. The code is there, right? It's not like I'm saying, Matt, hello, Matt. I'm at WordCamp. Could you build something that allows me to boost my website in AEO answer engine optimization? I've got the AEO AI visibility booster, Matt, automatic. Are you fucking listening? Take the code, and if I got anything wrong, fix it, improve it, and build it in. Because I tell you now, people will be much more happier and glad when you say WordPress now gives you duk 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 duk. Elementor gives you duk 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 duk. WooCommerce gives you duk 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 duk. Because now a lot of the thinking is gone. No, that's wrong. The thinking is still there. But a lot of the hassle with people trying... There's nothing worse than when you're building a website, right? And then you want to do a filter system and you know what you want to use, but the client doesn't want to pay for it. So then you try something else and you think it will work, but it doesn't really do what you wanted it to. And then you're going back and forth, back and forth. And there is so much that so much of these developers could use. And I cannot for the life of me work out why so many people got fucking excited about border radius. Was it version 6.8? We're gonna let you do border radiuses now. Give me a break. So many people were releasing videos. We have border radius. Sorry, sometimes I get overexcited. But I do think that, like, I don't know. Maybe I should go to WordCamp and I should do a presentation and I should literally... My presentation is me throwing accusations at the audience and at every automatic person there and even Elementor people there and even Bricks Pilder people there and everyone is a developer, and I just basically say, why don't you load this shit in? Why don't you load it? In fact, can I give you another one? Can I give you another one, right? Why does WordPress or even WooCommerce not have an automatic currency converter built in? Why has it not got that? You got an add-on for taxes. Why have they not got a currency converter? WordPress, why have you not got an automated translator? Am I being stupid here? Right? Web accessibility is the flavor of the month. I actually clipped my lip then as I did that. Flavor of the month. Color contrast, build it in. Build in stuff that's going to alert the user if they are missing the main landmark. Build stuff in. I mean, I've got the page auditor that alerts you to this stuff. That will tell you if you've got a H2 above a H1. Or maybe you've got more than H1 on a page. All of that, they could build in, couldn't they? And I always say, right, that get the basics done first before you start to do loads of other stuff, right? You are right, since sense sometimes good. Why make shit with it when you can charge? Absolutely right. But then, you know what I don't like? What happens then, What happens then is that we have two-tier WordPress, right? So you'll have WordPress. Let me explain it, right? Let me explain it, okay? This is the best way to explain it, okay? For a brand new user who's using WordPress, they probably think that WordPress will have the core basics built in. If someone said to me, hey, do you want to build a shop website? Forget Shopify, you got to use WordPress. Now, Shopify will have its filters built in, and I might go, oh, WordPress, 40% of the market, I'll do that. And then I realize it ain't got a fucking filter system. Now I've got to sort out my filter system. Now I've got, what do I do? What do I do? Because I believe WordPress had it. Think of it like a car, right? Think of it like a car. I got car one that has everything. Brakes, steering wheel, everything, right? And then I never have another car, okay? And you get the car and it's missing the gear stick. It's not automatic, it's a manual, but there's no gear stick. And the person then says, oh, you want the gear stick, you got to pay for it. What? So how am I meant to use the car? Oh, oh no, that's a stupid example, actually. That's not a good example. That's a really rubbish example to give you. And I can't think of a good one. But there are some things that I think should be built in for good. Yep, accessibility, GDPR compliance, all of this stuff should be built in. Because when missing a wheel. Because for me, it's like, if you get the basics right, and I'm now even happier, and now they say, and now they've got add-ons, right? I'm probably more tempted to use an add-on for their product because it really helps tick the box. And I don't know. That was just a super rant about how I've spent so much time developing stuff, and I get really annoyed that, so many people aren't using. In fact, let me just show you. Okay, I'm gonna get it onto my screen if I can. If I can get this onto my screen, let me show you. Right, so we did the Elementor course. For those of you that hopefully many of you have done the Elementor website course. So we created this website, which I'm going to show you in a minute. There we go. So we created this website, okay? If I show you the shop page, right? So here we have a shop with loads of products. Look at all the items we have here. All of those items, sorry, the filter, all of these filters were done with one code snippet. The filter builder, version 2, okay? This is it. So if I was to now say, only show me products that go to, I don't know, let's just shrink it down to £88, right? This is now only going to show me products that are not more than 88. In fact, let's make it even smaller. Let's go for something like 18 quid, right? There's only going to be these products come up that are 18 quid. How about we reset the filter? How about we go and change it now to be low to high or high to low, right? That's a £1 testing. What about if we filter for Zony? Zony products now appear and I can reset one filter or all filters. Now watch this. Watch this, all right? Just keep watching. When I hit headphones, the subcategory appears, wired or wireless. I'm going to go for wireless, right? There's only 2 now, and I got colors. So now I might go, I want one that's got blue. This one has got blue. Okay, let's jump in now to go to it. And over here, look, I've got the colors, so I can go and pick blue, and then I go and purchase it. One fucking code snippet. One code snippet. An entire filter system. And that filter system, okay, you can use on tablet, mobile, desktop, products, posts, custom post type, and if I go to lens, this is a custom field. So I might go for a CPL filter. Oh, wow. I can see it. I've even got stock status. Is it out of stock? Is it available? Look, let me reset it. Look, out of stock. That item is out of stock. That is an entire filter system built with code snippet. You don't need to go and get a third-party system. That's what I'm saying. And if you're not checked out the filter builder, you should go and check it out. You should go and check it out. All right? Go and check it out. Right. Nick, I'm about 5 minutes behind when you're having a round. I actually wondered whether Elementor had taken your code and baked them into one for me. I agree. No, they haven't used it, Nick. They're not, nothing gets used. And I get really annoyed because I'm like, you know, here's a filter system that they could run with. Build it in. Because that's how you make... When Bricks first came out, there was a lot of noise made about the Bricks Builder filter system. And when I used it, I realized, this is really basic. I'm still going to have to use Grid Builder WP. You should have something like this. And this is what the page builders need to be doing. Make your offering more rounded, right? Make it feel less stressful for me to have to go, I built a shop. Fuck! I need a filter system. Because then, right, you might go, should have just gone to Shopify. Because all they wanted was a shop with a homepage. And I went and made them use WooCommerce and all this shit. Do you get what I mean? To be honest, Dennis, yeah, I haven't mastered the Ajax filtering side of it, and I did do it, and then it broke a few times. So, you know, maybe someone else will improve on that, or maybe AI and me will get there one day. So I just think that, look, if I'm able to use AI and my own thinking, by the way, right, it's not all down to AI, it's how I want to build it and I want it to look. But if I can do so many of the little tools that I've created with a bit of AI, 50% AI, why are the developers not there? This is a serious question, right? I'm not a developer, but if I can work with AI to get something built, why are other page builder developers not there? Maybe they need to review their roadmap and have a think. Yeah? I've been live now. How long have I been live? I've been live. How long have I been live? I think I've been live for an hour? No, 49 minutes. Been live for 49 minutes. I did start quite early. Hey, Dennis, don't worry. Dennis, it's really good because sometimes I need people to say something that gives me something to give my view on it or what I think and stuff like that. But yeah, no hard feelings whatsoever at all. So like I said, some point in February, there will be some Bricks Builder videos coming out. I don't know. I mean, look, at the end, I don't build videos for people to view. I don't sit there counting the views, all right? I release some videos and they get like 1,000 views a day. I put out some videos and I barely get 200 views, whatever. Hey, Eden, how are you doing? Good to see you. So I'm one of those people that I don't care if only one person watches my video. If I know that one person came away from the video feeling really, really good or really, really happy, then I'll be ecstatic. I like to know I made a difference. But I am going to mix things up a little bit in 2026. I want to do more videos where I'm out and about, where I might be sat somewhere in like a cafe or something and I'll record And I will be talking about WordPress and websites and stuff like that. I will be doing that. My only problem is trying to find somewhere where I can do that, where I'm not going to have someone come over and go, "What are you recording? Are you recording me?" Or where I feel comfortable doing it, or even where the venue will allow you to do it. Some cafes get a bit funny about stuff like that. Even though the camera will be on me, right? So the camera will not be facing anyone else. The camera will be on me, right? It's on me. But some people get a bit funny about that, don't they? So, and I have got this amazing device. I've got to show you this new toy I've got. Yeah, just hold on. I've got to show you this new toy. Right, this new toy that I've got is amazing, right? This is amazing, right? And I'm looking at the comments at the moment. Eden, you're absolutely right. It should be about the value. Absolutely. Cheers, Debbie. So let me just show you this device, right? This plugs into my phone, okay? Now, some of you are going to say, and I love this cover, right? Because it just detaches with a magnet, right? So this is my, you know, carries all my cards and it just detaches off, right? And this, I could attach this via a magnet, but I don't like to use a magnet all the time, right? Now, let me show you what this does, right? Let me show you what this does. This is really cool. And I know some of you are going to say, you can do this wirelessly. I will now tell you why you don't want it to be wireless, okay? Because don't make the mistake, because no people don't show you this, right? So you see here, right? This is, if I just do this, like, let me get this right. Sorry, I'm recording. I don't want to be recording, right? So this is my camera. I've got to rotate it, right? I've hit the wrong button, so I need to rotate this. But if you imagine, right, that is my rear camera, right? And I can see myself, right? So when I'm recording, right, rotate. Damn it. This is why you don't do shit like this, yeah, when you're on a live chat, all right? This is why you don't do oh, fucking hell. Fuck's sake. Do not do shit like this, right, when you're on a live chat, right? Because it goes wrong, okay? Right, so this is now pointing to my screen so I can see on here, right, this device. So I can record my rear camera and I can look at me now. Why am I plugging it in via a cable? Because you could do this wireless, right? This is why. If you have like a DJI mic, right, like that, little, this is the mic free, okay? And you are, fuck's sake, what am I doing? And you're recording yourself, right? And you've got this on, and you use a wireless version. No, well, there will be latency, Dennis, but you can get away with that because it's when you view the footage back. When you now view the footage back, the latency will be 1 second, 5 seconds, 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, one. It changes. There's no consistency. And it will even miss frames. So you'll be talking, and then all of a sudden it jumps 5 seconds, and that 5 seconds of footage is gone. Nowhere to be found. Because the wireless, if you're recording in 4K, fucks up. But you know what's good about this device? So, can you see this? There you go, right. That port there is the one that you plug into the phone. That port there. That port there is for charging. But here's the really clever bit. On the side, right, on the side, can we get this in shot? Can we see it? Don't think we can see it. There, see that port there? That port on the side. That port is for your DJI mic receiver. So I can do this. That's the receiver. This bit plugs into the phone. Zero latency. Zero latency. And when you view back your footage, your video and your audio in sync. You lose nothing. Because when you're recording in 1080p, you can get away with it. When you're recording in 4K, even when it's just 30 frames per second, you will notice it. And believe me, no amount of editing will help you out. God cannot help you out. All right? Donald Trump cannot help you out. No one can fucking help you out. So I had to get this from America. You cannot get this in Amazon UK. I had to go to the America site and get this imported over. This was $60. The TTQ, right? So yeah, sure, you got to plug it in, but I don't mind. I don't mind plugging it in, right? Because it's magnetized anyway. But if you've got a clip, which I have, it just clips onto the back of it. So now when you're recording yourself, you're viewing yourself like that with your rear camera. You got your DJI mic on. You got your receiver plugged in as well. You're laughing. You are so laughing. Well, you're not really laughing because you look like a twat then if you just sit there in a cafe laughing. You don't want to do all that shit. I do feel like people think I'm a lot younger than I am just because of how silly I can be sometimes. I can be really silly, can't I? Like, really stupid. So, yeah, there you go. All right, take care, Debbie. Sorry, Debbie and everyone, if I've been swearing and going a bit AWOL with my language. I really do apologize, okay? Sometimes I can't help but just release steam. You know why? Because when you're working from home, majority of the time on your own, practically most of the time, you almost feel like, because when you're on your home, when you're at home on your own working and things don't go wrong, you will say, for fuck's sake, oh, fucking hell, oh, fuck shit, or whatever, right? You'll do that. But you just say it, don't you? Or you go, oh, fuck. But when you're able to actually put it into a sentence and say it, there's some release that comes out of it. It's not enjoyment. You shouldn't swear. We should be kind and considerate to everyone, okay? We shouldn't be offensive or arrogant or ignorant. But sometimes there are times when being able to just let it all out with a few F words, with a few expletives, it feels liberating. Do you get what I mean with that whole liberation side of things? Okay, everyone, I've been live for about 58 minutes. I'm going to stay live just for a bit more before I jump off. So Ghosty Posty tried recording some videos for my site. 4K is a bit advised. I figured record max quality and downscale, but I skip it. Yeah, exactly. This is what's happening. This is what's happening, mate. This is what's happening. It's because when this is the iPhone 17 Pro, right? When it's having to wirelessly transmit to a video thing, and you're recording, and you've got an audio plugged in as well, so that's wireless as well, you're asking too much of it. And you would have thought it could cope, but it can't. And you know what pisses me off? So many YouTubers that go on and on about, oh, look at this device, and look at this, and look at that. They don't do what I call a real scenario test. So in a real situation, if I've got an iPhone 17 Pro or anything that records 4K, why would I not record 4K? Why wouldn't I? And if I've got a DJI mic, why would I not be connecting that to use that? So if you're doing all of that stuff, well, if they did that, they would have come across the problem, which they're not. Exactly, Eden, it doesn't. But now we've got a solution. That device, okay, ding, $60. I mean, you got the connector port, a charger port if you need it, and an audio port. A dedicated audio receiver port. This is worth it. Worth it. all of the other wireless screen mirroring devices, I tested out the Shinbol. I tested out the newer. I tested out there was a third one. What was the third one? There was a third one I tested out. I tested them out and returned them within 24 hours because they could not cope. And then I managed to find that. 0 problems. 0. Absolutely, Eden. Absolutely. I mean, to be honest, Eden, I never record in 4K 60 unless I know I'm going to be running. So even if you're walking around, 4K 30 is actually okay. Shall I put the link up here? Let me just get the link. All right, let me get the link because I do think if you search for the brand, you won't always find it. So let me just sign in. I'm just signing in. I've got to do that stupid verification thing. I do hate Amazon's verification. You know, it goes, you got to put 2-step verification and you got to go pop your code in. So let me get the actual link. It's not a referral link, by the way. What? What? It just said my password is wrong. What? 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 It said the password is wrong. The fuck? The password is not wrong. Anyway, let me just log in and get it. Yeah, the Osmo Action 3 is actually quite good. Right, I'm just going to log in again, everyone. While I just do this, just wait a minute. Let me try and log in and get my flipping code. Right, here we go. Let's try this code now. It's all right. I'm in now, so let me just get it. The topic, Aquitas, was me having a rant about how developers and stuff and plugins and crap, they need to do more. They need to do a lot more in terms of what they offer. So, this is the device. And it is 60... Here we go. Here it is. So, that's the link. That's the link for the device. Okay? So if anyone wants it, go and get it. Go and get it. It's not a referral link, by the way. It is just a normal Amazon. You can't get it from amazon.co.uk. It will cost you about $25 for shipping. So you're looking at about $85, which converts to about 60 odd quid when you do the conversion from dollars to pounds. So for 60 quid, that is a massive lifesaver. Massive. All right? Massive. Because you don't want to be faffing around with fudged, hacked ways of making it all sync or spending time editing and all of that. I know Aquitas, but you know what? I think a lot of plugins, page builders, WordPress, Elementor, did you see that? I nearly knocked it. They need to adopt my code and use it and build it in. So, Nick, I was going to do a meetup end of January. I held back because I've got a fear that the weather's going to be quite shit. and you know, was it going to be rainy weather? So I'm planning it for February. And I'm hoping by that time I will have jumped back into doing a bit of bricks videos as well. So bricks, WordPress, Elementor and all of that side of things. So I was going to do it end of January, the last Sunday. But then yeah. So I've just held back on it at the moment. And I'm a little bit unsure because part of me feels like, shall I do on a Saturday instead of Sunday? You know, Saturday does work out a little bit better in terms of like my wife can look after Raheem, my son then. So I'm thinking about Saturday, maybe. And to be honest, Nick, you know, you came up all the way from Southampton. Was it Southampton or Portsmouth? I think it was Southampton, right? You know, and I feel bad that, like, you travel all that way as well. Hey, Palav, I'm doing okay. How you doing? You know, how you doing? So as I've said earlier many times now, I will be jumping back into doing some more bricks builder videos. I'll be mixing it up a little bit. So if I find a way to do something in Elementor, I'll try and do a version for bricks. I'm also going to stress test. So the filter builder, can we make sure that definitely works, or do we need to do a quick tweak? So we have the elemental version of filter builder and the bricks version of filter builder. So stuff like that. Stuff like that. I just want to build it all in. Oh, definitely, Nick. Won't be half-term week. Definitely, definitely, definitely. Newer Basics 4. The newer Basics 4, is that a new one? Now you're going to tell me, right, there's a newer device. Newer Basics 4. What is this? The newer Basics 4. Oh, hold on. What is this? Right, okay. No, I don't. Does that have, though, the ports? I'm just looking at this device now. I'm just looking at what he said. I don't think that has the audio port. Does that have the audio port? Does that have the audio port? I'll have to investigate that. Thank you for letting me know about that, Dennis. Right, okay, so Elementor have never had a really good performance score. In fact, a lot of websites don't always have a really good performance score. My Squadron website does not have a really good performance score. You know why? Because I've hammered it with so much stuff. And I sometimes get to a point where I can't be asked to make everything super, super perfect. Quite frankly, if you go to Microsoft or Apple or loads of websites, the scores are like 10%. At the end of the day, if people are coming to your website, even when it takes 2 seconds to load, the performance score is meaningless. If, however, people don't come to your website, they don't know who you are, and you are one of many, your score might matter, because if your website is really slow, really clunky, doesn't load properly, then you want to be putting a bit more attention. But if people are going to come... Look, are you telling me every time you've gone to McDonald's, it's spotless? No, probably not. But will you still go and get a Big Mac or a cheeseburger? Probably, yeah. Right? When you go to get petrol or diesel or whatever for your car, is the petrol pump clean? You know, is the area or the court clean? No, but you still go, right? If, however, you go into a street now and there are 2 shops next door to one another and both sell the exact same sandwich, right? The exact same sandwich, right? Your favorite sandwich is a tuna baguette with cucumbers, right? And both shops have the exact same baguette, right? And you don't know them. First time you're walking in a city or a village and you're like, oh, I'm a bit hungry, and you spot the 2 shops. You don't know them. You've never been in. One of them is clean. The other one is dirty. Where are you going? So when you're new, it matters. But when you know, I've got 1,000 people coming every day. I know there are some shops out there that are ridiculously shit, like with their shop setup, but you still go. I like to go to the comingsoon.net website every day to catch up about latest stuff about movies and TV shows and stuff happening. I like to do that. The comingsoon.net website about 3 years ago started introducing loads of adverts, sponsored adverts. I hate it. I despise it. And on a mobile, it's really annoying. But I will still go to that website every day because it's my trusted source of information about movies and TV shows. And that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. That's my simple answer for that. How much does selector CSS influence performance compared to draft selector and create a proper class instead?
Do you know something? I've never checked that out. I really, really, really haven't. And I personally don't think it makes that much of a difference. And I'll tell you why. I've developed websites and pages full of custom CSS. Full of it. Is it any quicker or slower than a website with 0 custom CSSs and shit going on? The answer, no. They're the same. Makes 0 difference. Where it matters is when you've got JavaScript, script, and now they've all got to load through. You might get a 1 to 2 second delay in lag or load, or maybe you've set up some special animation and that kicks in half a second later than what you thought. That's when it matters. Especially is it set up to load in your header or the body end? The head, sorry, or the body end, right? Then it matters. But CSSs, nah. I mean, look, all of my websites are built using a CSS framework, right? For your fonts. Extra large, medium, small, normal, extra small, whatever, right? Loads of that. And every single text on the page has got a class name. Large, normal, medium, more normal, small. When that page loads, you don't see a jump. You don't see browser standard and then it goes large, medium, normal. You don't see that. So it doesn't matter. It does not matter. I've yet to come across a page where the CSS suddenly went, because when it renders based on the style sheet or whatever order you've loaded in. So it does it like that for you. So you're good. You're good. TLD software is good for software store. I don't know. I'm not aware what that is even. Sorry, I'm not sure. You may notice that when I drink, I'm like doing this. It's because of this lid. I could snap it off, but I like to leave it on so the lid doesn't go missing anywhere. But when you're drinking, it does sometimes like catch you in the mouth a little bit. Right, everyone, I've been live now for 1 hour 13. I'm going to go do a quick workout. And then after I've done a quick workout, I'm going to raise my desk, jump back onto my stepper, and go and fine tune and clean up a website for a client who we did their website last year. They came back to us because they now got a second website, total overhaul. I am seriously impressed with what I've done with their website. Like, super impressed. I'm not going to show it to you, but I have done some magical stuff with their booking system. But anyway, I'm going to go work on that. Yeah, take care, Nick. I've not used Google Anti-Gravity, by the way. Cheers, Eden. Look after yourself and have fun if you do get that mirroring device. Palab, yeah, I've not used Google Anti-Gravity. Link or it didn't happen. I'm not going to showcase it because it's their private website. I'm not going to show it. I could show. No, can I show it to you without revealing it? Let me just see. Let me see. Can I do it? Can I zoom in? I don't know if I can zoom in. Let me see if I can. Wait, let me see if I can zoom in on the website. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can. Yeah, I think I can. I think I can. Can I? No, I can't. I can't. And I don't want to. No, I'm not going to share it. I don't want to reveal anything I'm not meant to because of their website and stuff like that. And it's not fair because they've not even fully seen it. Lepetaki, what gives you most motivation to do stuff while working from home? Getting shit done, right? What gives you motivation to go to the toilet to get your shit out? What gives you motivation to eat? to satisfy your hunger? What gives you motivation to work out, to improve your fitness? What gives you motivation to get dressed so you don't get arrested when you go out? What gives you motivation to have a shower so you don't stink? What gives you motivation to look good so you might meet someone when you're outside, or you look a little bit more established and polished off and shit like that? At the end of the day, I work to work. That's the only motivation I need to succeed, to better myself, to stay alive, to have purpose. Because if I did not have purpose, then what's the point in living? All right, everyone, I'm going to jump off now. Take care. See you all soon. I may be back next week. I don't know when. Maybe on Tuesday. Maybe on Monday. I'll see how I'm feeling. Like, subscribe, share, and follow. Go and check out our Elementor website course. I'm Imran from Web Squadron. Stay safe.